A single accusation can shatter years of hard work in mere seconds. From destroying careers to tragically ending lives, false accusations can have devastating consequences. My name is Luero, and in this video I will discuss false accusations that have ruined careers and taken innocent lives. Let us begin with perhaps the most tragic story of them all. Byron Bernstein was also known as Reckful and was a pioneer of Twitch streaming and also a former World of Warcraft champion. Reckful had built an empire with millions of devoted fans. But in July 2020, everything changed when a Twitch partner by the name of IndieFox published a tweet longer accusing him of harassment. The timing couldn't have been worse. Twitch had recently implemented a policy of immediately banning partners accused of misconduct, regardless of the evidence. For somebody like Reckful, who had already battled with depression and lost his brother to suicide, the threat of losing his platform, his primary source of income, was devastating. Twitch was the only thing that he had left. And to make it even worse, the allegations themselves were questionable. IndieFox claimed that Reckful had tried to kiss her on the neck and pressured her into sleeping with him, then attempted to ruin her life by being mean. She also tried to take the moral high ground by saying that she was not going to mention his name because she didn't want him to get hate, but then proceeded to provide more than enough details to be able to identify who it was, mentioning how many viewers he got per stream and also hinted towards his Twitch name among subtle references that would help the fans connect the dots towards Reckful. It was clear that she was doing this to go viral and get more subscriptions to her OnlyFans. People connected the dots that it was Reckful that she was talking about, and the hate storm began. His livelihood was now threatened. He was getting so much hate without any real evidence. It was like his world was crumbling, all due to completely made up accusations. On July 2nd, 2020, just days after the allegations surfaced, Reckful took his own life. May he rest in peace. And his last ever stream is the only thing we have left of Reckful.
I'm gonna go offline. I guess I'll try to find something to watch for a tiny bit before I pass out. Maybe it's all uphill from here, though. I will see you guys either tomorrow or the next day.
While we can't definitely say that the accusations caused his death, sources close to the situation claim that IndieFox threatened to explicitly name Reckful in the days leading up to the tragedy. After losing his brother and battling depression himself, Twitch was the only thing that he had left. And risking to lose Twitch as well, it all probably became too much for him to handle. In the aftermath, she deleted all of her tweets related to the allegations, every single post, every accusation and every comment. These 6 stories paint an increasingly disturbing picture of how false accusations can destroy a life. Every single case that we will be talking about gets more and more dramatic and more severe, and at the end of the video we will talk about perhaps one of the most tragic stories that you will ever hear. And while Reckful lost his life, Pyrocynical would lose something else. His dignity, being exposed as a furry and having his deepest secrets and kinks being exposed to millions of people and being humiliated online. Before continuing into the next story, I just want to say subscribe and help me fuel the passion that is this channel. You can always unsubscribe, and your support means the world to me. With that being said, thank you, and let's get straight back into the video. With over 4 million subscribers, by January 2020, the British YouTuber had built an empire on commentary videos and dark humor. His witty takes and unique style had earned him a dedicated following that stuck with him through thick and thin. That is until October 2020, when a single Twitter post had threatened to destroy everything he had built. The allegations came from a user named Ivory Rasmus, who claimed Pyrocynical had groomed him when he was 15 years old and Pyro was 19. The accusations weren't vague. They came with screenshots of Discord messages showing what appeared to be inappropriate exchanges involving not safe for work artwork and fetish content. In an age of instant outrage, the internet didn't wait for explanations and the storm came after him. Most people accused of such things would either hide or rush to defend themselves with a hasty response, but Pyrocynical took a step back and sat down to think. On November 10th, 2020, he published a careful and detailed Reddit post addressing every single point. He acknowledged participating in fantasy roleplay conversations that many would find weird and distasteful. A remarkable honest admission if I say so myself.
When I was 19 and 20, I liked to take part in this degenerate furry roleplay with pretty much anyone that would reciprocate. And looking back on it now, the word cringe, that doesn't near do enough justice to how sad this all was.
But he systematically proved that he had never known Ivory's age, never solicited inappropriate content, and never attempted to manipulate or exploit anyone. The story could have ended here, but it didn't. In mid-December, another YouTuber named Turkey Tom released a document which supposed new evidence. The pressure mounted and the accusations grew louder. Finally, he released a video response that would change everything, systematically dismantling every single accusation with evidence and clarity.
But a few days ago, a poorly written Google Doc has surfaced claiming that I have lied in my response and I'm 100% guilty. I just want to be clear, I have never lied at any point. This document is disingenuous, manipulative, and it fails to include so much of my original statement.
In the end, even Ivory himself admitted in an interview that he didn't actually understand what grooming meant, only using the term because of a friend told him to. The accusations were proven false, but the damage was already done. Something private and personal had been exposed to millions of people. A content creator who had always presented himself to be completely straight now found his sexuality and private interest splash all over the internet for everybody to see and judge. This attack cost Pyrocynical his whole image. While having your private interests exposed to millions was devastating, what happens to our next creator shows how a carefully crafted lie can nearly destroy somebody's entire world. Kwite had built a reputation as a commentary YouTuber, following in the footsteps of creators like Pyrocynical and Wild Spartan. With his distinctive style and sharp wit, he cultivated a loyal following. But on February 22nd, 2023, a single tweet-longer post would threaten to destroy everything that he had built. The accusations came from a Twitter user by the name of Nias Putin, aka Orion. These allegations were severe and very detailed: emotional and physical abuse, transphobia and gaslighting. This wasn't just a vague call out, it came with what appeared to be damaging evidence. Discord messages showing things like Kwite flirting were posted on Imgur. Another Twitter user, Nereid Live, claimed to be Orion's partner and said that they had witnessed firsthand the damage Kwite had done to Orion, stating that Orion still suffered from PTSD because of it. The response was immediate and devastating. Kwite's Discord server shut down as messages flooded every channel. The moderators couldn't keep up. The situation escalated further when another Twitter user came forward with additional allegations. The hate campaign grew so intense that even Kwite's fandom page was hijacked, filled with drop Kwite messages and other deplorable messages.
There's some holdouts there that just still outright refuse to even listen to him, which is always the worst fucking mentality ever, where, oh, I heard one side, I don't want to hear the other, doesn't matter what you say, I will always think this way of you. Those fucking losers grind my ass so hard because it's clear you don't care about the truth, you just want somebody to hate.
The story kept on growing, with the YouTuber Michael Alberto getting involved, discussing with Orion about taking legal action, but Orion didn't want to. Orion claimed that the statute of limitations had passed in their state, and since the situation crossed state lines, getting a conviction would be difficult. They also noted that they hadn't done a kit, which reduced the chance of conviction, and that Kwite had more financial resources for a legal battle. But rather than run or hide, Kwite chose to fight back. On March 11th, 2023, he released a 91-minute long video that would change everything. Titled For the Record, this was not just a simple denial, but a systematic dismantling of every single accusation, broken into detailed chapters. Everything from Discord messages to the claim of transphobia and use of slurs. Kwite addressed everything. But sadly, due to this drama, his identity got compromised, so in this video he did not bother to cover his face to show his seriousness. He proved that conversations had been manipulated, evidence had been fabricated, and Orion had contradicted their own previous statements.
False and completely untrue. Not only did I not assault Orion, I never had any sexual contact with him in any way, shape, or form. I have a lot of evidence to share backing what I say in this video, including a recording of Orion giving a testimony of this exact interaction from late 2018 that directly contradicts his current version of events.
The tides began to turn. People who at first condemned Kwite started to see the truth. The evidence was overwhelming. But then came another twist. Orion's supposed PTSD diagnostics paper, which they presented as evidence of trauma. People started to notice duplicate sentences, multiple grammar issues, and other irregularities. While some users confirmed that the doctor named in these papers was a real doctor, they noted that the doctor did not specialize in what Orion had claimed. On March 19, 2023, just 8 days after Kwite's response, Orion's entire facade crumbled. They deleted their account after more information came to light about them lying to supporters and friends in private DMs. Kwite survived the ordeal and managed to rebuild, but the experience left his mark. To this day, he occasionally makes subtle references to false accusations in his content, using humor to cope with the trauma of nearly losing everything to a lie. But if you think having your community turn against you is bad, wait until you hear about what happened to Slazo. This story shows how the people you trust the most can stab you in the back and be the reason of your demise. Michael Kershowski, better known as Slazo, was an Australian YouTuber from Canberra who would make a name for himself with commentary videos. He'd been grinding on YouTube since April Fool's 2013, starting with montage parodies before finding his groove in commentary content. Everything was going fine until June 10th, 2019, when his ex-girlfriend Che dropped a bombshell that would change everything. She posted a tweet longer that painted Slazo as a monster, claiming he was controlling, manipulative, and sexually abusive. But here is where things get really messed up. She didn't just make accusations, she came with receipts, screenshots that seemed to back up everything she was saying. The next day, the story got even bigger when Keemstar covered it on Drama Alert. Slazo tried to get ahead of the situation, sending Keem a DM explaining that there was more to the story, but he needed time to address all of the accusations properly. But Che was not having this. She fired back with accusing Slazo of lying to Keemstar and claiming he tried to intimidate her during a recent meetup. Now, in situations like this, most people would rush to defend themselves, but Slazo did something different, something that would later prove crucial. He took his time, got professional and legal advice, sought mental health counseling, and built a proper defense. When he finally dropped his response video on June 27th, 2019, it was like a bomb going off in the community. In that video, Slazo didn't just deny the accusations, he proved that Che had deliberately taken his DMs out of context. He showed that she had straight up lied about several of her own statements. He proved that she lied about everything, even lied about him being her first partner. The truth finally started to come to light, but the damage was already spreading in ways nobody expected. See, there's another layer to this story that makes it even more twisted. I am Alex, another YouTuber who was supposed to be Slazo's friend, hadn't just believed Che's accusations, he had actually helped her write the tweet longer that started this whole mess. Imagine that, somebody considered your friend actively helping to craft the very accusations that could destroy your life. After Slazo's response video, the community's support swung back to Slazo. But here is the thing about reputation damage, you can't just hit the undo button. On September 8th, 2019, Slazo came back with a video called "I put bread on ground to create an earth sandwich", and in this video he tried to find something positive in the nightmare he'd been through. But the story wasn't over. On November 28th, he uploaded a video simply titled "Being Cancelled", where he opened up about how the whole experience had really been. Then in a video called "They Ruined My Life", uploaded on August 27th, he got real about how the controversy had affected his life and channel. He promised his upload schedule would get better, the higher quality content was coming, but that didn't happen. Slazo hasn't uploaded another video since December 2020. However, Slazo's withdrawal from content creation pales in comparison to what happened next. Alex Kister's case proves that even if you win, you can still lose everything you've built. Alex Kister was a YouTuber / game developer that had the game he was working on for years, the Mandela Catalog, killed due to completely made up allegations. On March 12, 2024, his ex-partner Ven, known as Stirring Juice, published a document titled "Warning About Alex Kister". The accusations were severe: predatory behavior, manipulation, and abuse over power dynamics with fans. They even brought out receipts, messages showing Alex's Discord activity, and conversations with Ven and another ex-partner known as DB. The document went viral. We're talking 7 million views and 30,000 likes, and the impact was immediate. The most of the Mandela Collage cast and crew straight up quit. Some of them even started leaking details about the show, including stuff about Volume 5 that wasn't supposed to be public yet. It even got so bad that the retro release video, the company handling the VHS release of the Mandela Collage, completely pulled the plug and started giving refunds to everybody who had pre-ordered. But on March 24th, Alex fought back with my perspective. In this detailed response, he systematically proved that his interactions with Ven and other ex-partners were consensual and reciprocated. He exposed Ven's contradictions, showing how they initially admitted he wasn't a groomer on Tumblr before making the very accusation on Twitter. And the truth prevailed. On April 8th, Ven issued an apology admitting to poorly handling the situation, including transphobic rhetoric and betraying Alex's trust. They deleted their Twitter account the next day. Sure, Alex's reputation has largely been restored by now, but the creative work that took years to build, that's what's struggling to recover. But none of these stories are as devastating compared to our final case. What happened to Inquisitor shows the ultimate prize that false accusations can extract, and how those responsible can simply delete their tweets and walk away, leaving a community in mourning. Vincent Plici, known online as Inquisitor Ghost, was a 23-year-old Italian content creator who had built a following of 100,000 fans throughout his passionate Call of Duty cosplay, particularly his portrayals of the character Ghost. His creative content and dedication to his craft had earned him a special place in the gaming community. But in 2023, everything changed after Inquisitor fired his 17-year-old editor, something that left this editor furious and wanting revenge. When time passes and Discord messages start to surface of Inquisitor acting strange. The images showed conversations between Inquisitor and his former 17-year-old editor, also known as AJ. The allegations painted him as predatory, with carefully selected messages showing him saying things like "I love you" and wanting to marry her. Another TikToker at Keeks amplified the accusations by sharing the screenshots with her large audience, causing the situation to spiral out of control. What followed was a carefully orchestrated campaign of manipulation that would only be exposed too late. Evidence later emerged showing that AJ had allegedly lied about her age in their interactions. More disturbing still, leaked messages between AJ and her boyfriend Tito revealed a calculated plan to bait Inquisitor into compromising situations. In one message, Tito encouraged AJ to flirt with Inquisitor to get better and more proof, admitting that their current evidence wasn't enough to cancel him. But by then, the damage was already done. The allegations spread like wildfire across social media. Inquisitor, who had explicitly warned minors to not message him on his page, found himself overwhelmed by accusations. He closed his Instagram account and stopped posting on TikTok as the hate campaign intensified. Then on October 9th, 2023 came the moment that would shake the entire community. Inquisitor went live on TikTok for one final time. What followed was a tragedy that would leave his family, friends, and followers devastated. He went live and something wasn't right. There was nobody in the shot and the camera was pointed towards a window. Nothing happened for a while when all of a sudden the person busted through the window and unveiling that Inquisitor had taken his own life. The aftermath revealed the cruel truth. The allegations that drove him into this point were built on deception. But for Vincent Plici, a young man of 23, it was already too late. While those responsible would later try to defend their actions, deleting their posts and claiming messages were taken out of context, nothing could undo what has been done. A talented creator, a beloved son, and a cherished brother was lost forever. Not because of any real wrongdoing, but because of a calculated attempt to cancel somebody for social media clout.